Okay, our next session is actually a panel, and it is the perspective of the builders. And Robin, if you want to come on up. While Robin is heading up, I'm going to introduce her, and then she, in turn, will introduce the panelists, of which she graciously brought together for the forum here today. Robin Downsey manages the Sustainable Design and Construction Department for Wharton Smith and is also a LEEDS accredited professional with specialties in green building design and construction. Robin currently serves as the vice chair of the board for the Central Florida chapter of the U.S. Green Building Council and is an education course reviewer for the U.S. GBC National. Robin has more than 16 years of experience in construction planning, management, and project delivery. Robin is very involved in providing support and education to the Central Florida community. She works with the community in helping them to better understand sustainable concepts and delivery methods focused on integrated project delivery and how to maximize, analyze, and implement sustainable technologies. And near to my heart, as a mother of young children, her passion is education and helping school districts implement ideas and technologies that aid in reducing their operational budgets while improving the school conditions and overall quality for students and faculty. I thought it would be interesting to hear the builder's perspective on RPS, just because so much of our economy here in Florida is based on development, and developers are integral to that. And much as this an RPS policy would impact the utilities in a big way, it will most definitely impact the development community as well. So with that, Robin?
Thank you. Okay, so I have the pleasure of introducing your panel to you. I'm going to introduce them briefly, and then I'm going to give them a couple of minutes before I start asking questions to allow them to elaborate a little bit more with regards to what they do here in Central Florida. And after we are done with the questions that we are going to ask, I encourage those in the audience to pose their own questions to the panel. That's okay. I don't film well anyhow. Don't worry about it. Okay, so first, David Bissett. David Bissett is the CEO and president of All Solar Service Company. He was the past president of the Florida Solar Energy Industries Association. He is a CEU instructor, and he puts subject matter together for Professional Testing Institute. Chris Mango is the operations director for Superior Solar. He also sat on the board for the Florida Solar Energy Industries Association, and he writes exam questions for the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners. Kimberly, I'm going to ruin your name, sorry, Kimberly Krotsky. Good. Has 3 years experience in environmental engineering. She specializes in photovoltaic system design, and she has been project manager for approximately 6 megawatts of photovoltaics. Have a seat. And David, could you start us off by elaborating a little bit more on what I started?
I am a small business owner with 30-some employees. I've been installing solar, water heating, thermal systems, pool heatings, and PV for over 30 years in Central Florida. Have been involved with FLOSIA, the Solar Industries Association, for a decade, presided over the industry for 3 out of the last 7 years, and uniquely in tuned with what's going on in Tallahassee as best you can. I have a passion for solar. It's been my life. I think that solar can play in the mix with the fuels here in Florida. We are the Sunshine State. I really would like to see if we can get some good questions come out here today. But one of the big things for me as a small business owner, whatever policy that we come up with in the state of Florida, I believe, for one, we have to create jobs for Floridians. And since Floridians will be footing the bill through the ratepayers or through tax base, I think it's important to keep the jobs here and keep the money within the state. And I really would like to see the RPS, see the state of Florida come up with the RPS prior to the feds coming up with the RPS. The feds do not see any boundaries as far as state's concerned. I think it would be best for Floridians to have an RPS here set in the state. And of course, there's other policies out there. But I'm all about bringing clean, renewable energy such as solar to the Floridians. It does work. There's many good examples of it, and it is cost effective today.
Thank you. Kimberly.
Good morning. I work for Blue Chip Energy. We currently install residential and commercial solar energy systems. We are in negotiations with PPA agreements for local schools and other government entities. Our company is about 30 people, and the RPS is definitely going to increase business, so we're pushing forward for that. Hopefully by April 2nd, we'll have some legislative issues passed, and the RPS will be in full effect.
Great. Chris?
Hi. I started in this business as an installer a little over 20 years ago. I work for a local contractor here in Orlando. Like Dave, I've been on the FLACIA board for the past 3 years, and I've been our legislative chair for the past 2 years, so I've been involved in all our lobbying efforts in Tallahassee to get legislation such as RPS and other forms of legislation to benefit the industry and to grow the industry here in Florida. We have, like Dr. Fenton said, we got a unique, opportunity here in Florida. We have, a lot more solar energy in a lot of other states, but we lag the rest of the country, or the majority of the rest of the country in solar programs, so we need to start making up for that. And I'm, optimistic about this year's legislative session. I think we're going to see a change in the House leadership, wanting to do some more stuff. And we see some stuff coming out, some bills that are going to be probably coming out of the House and the Senate that are encouraging. I know that they don't want to raise taxes to the constituents of Florida, but we have to find a way to move solar industry forward and to move RPS and other renewables forward. So